Dr. Johnson for your moving words. Please join me in welcoming our class of 2024 reflection speakers for this evening and my best friends, Rachel Hamby and Jayden Owens. Jayden is a very active member of our school. Jayden is the poster child for what it means to be a Booker T. Hornet. He's played football all 4 years of his high school career while also being active within other school organizations. Jayden is currently the president of the African American Society and vice president of the 2024 class board. He also provides a lot of service to the student council and finds a way to help or plan school events and assemblies. Jayden was crowned the 47th Mr. Hornet. Due in large part to the outstanding leadership role he plays in our school. Jayden plans on staying in Tulsa and attending the University of Tulsa to pursue his dreams in film while also minoring in political science. Rachel Hamby is a full international baccalaureate candidate who is involved in too many clubs and activities to mention during her 4-year high school journey. Outside of school, she maintains several jobs, including Josh's Snow Shack, Rose Rock, a lifeguard for the YWCA and Park Plaza South Pool, and a swim instructor for the YWCA. After high school, she plans to attend St. Louis University to study communications and media. After college, she plans to pursue a career in entertainment or foreign relations. Please join me in welcoming Rachel and Jayden to the stage.
Good evening, friends, family, faculty, and of course, our fellow classmates.
We are honored to be here tonight to celebrate an achievement that, let's be honest, not even our loved ones thought would happen, our graduation.
Jayden and I have known each other since freshman year. When I first met him, he was a scared little freshman with no style and a need for a growth spurt.
Aw, and Rachel was a quirky U School kid who lacked social cues. We're still trying to learn them, aren't we?
Ouch.
Anyways, before we begin to talk about our graduates, there are a few groups that we must acknowledge first.
Our families.
Whether that be family by blood or by bond, the sacrifices and love that you have shown us throughout these years does not go unnoticed, because Lord knows I would not have made it through another class-long lecture without it.
Your sacrifices and love were shown in many different ways. Maybe it was having to white-knuckle the seats of the car as we were driving to school with our learner's permits.
Calling us out of school because of power outages, or after a long test, or sometimes just calling us out of school.
Telling us to get it together because you knew our grades could be better, and continuing to push us to be the best versions of ourselves.
Making some of us breakfast religiously, even if it was just to build your social media content, and every other sacrifice in between.
You are part of the reason we made it. And as each of us goes on to our next path, we do it knowing our family always has our back.
To our teachers, administrators, and support teams, thank you.
Your passion, commitment, and generosity never went unnoticed. Well, sometimes it did.
Thank you, Ms. Lindstrom, for keeping a large amount of peanut butter in your room. The amount of PB&Js I have made in her room is ridiculous, and I think she can attest to that.
Mr. Myers tragically ended up in my phone contacts junior year. Tragic for him, not for me. He willingly answered every call and text about pep rallies and life and put up with my very fun ideas. Apparently, killing the competition-themed pep rally is not school appropriate.
Yeah, Uncle Myers wasn't very fond of all of our ideas, but I guess bringing a casket to a pep rally will never be acceptable.
Sometimes we have parents at home and at school. For me, mine were Mr. McCracken and Mrs. Collins. From aggressive ping pong games to trips to Europe where we learned life lessons and telling them every part of my life. I would not have made it through high school without them.
And lastly, might I say, every moment I spent in Dr. Williams' room. There's always that one teacher who allows their room to be a safe space for their students. Even though that teacher may be different for everybody, they have allowed us to be ourselves and have listened to us complain about their coworkers. Our teachers have shaped our high school experience. from Leva yelling so loud that we could hear him from the first floor,
to Miss Hoxie making us stand up and recite every school song and chant.
your passion for our education, but the spirit in general, does not go unnoticed.
Without you, we wouldn't be here. Or at least we would not be the people we are today without the love and resources you have taught us.
And finally, the class of 2024, our fellow classmates who we've experienced everything with, the good
And the bad.
and everything in between. I mean, who can forget the day that we found out that we were going back to in-person school and we could not sleep through the online classes anymore. Now we get to sleep through in-person classes together.
Or freshman year when there was a house burning down next door in May and we had to evacuate the building because of possible gas fumes. And I know you remember how they used to divide the hallways into one-way streets, making you 2 minutes later to every single class.
Sophomore year, where the upperclassmen referred to us as the other freshman class, we really got to experience what it meant to be a Hornet. We had our first indoor pep rally.
That was also the year the freshmen kept letting that dog into school and feeding it. Can't forget about Booker T mask fishing or Booker T parking jobs.
Rachel, that actually led into our junior year, where we swept the pep rally competition and...
2 words, Bixby girl.
Okay, senior year, Blue Ribbon School for the 4th time, the first in Oklahoma, and ranked the best public high school in Oklahoma.
That's also the year we got moved back down to 5A.
Come on, Rachel. We did not have it that bad. I feel like there's so much worse that other classes had to endure.
I mean, you are right. We did get a graduation our senior year. We didn't have bed bugs or a little too much fun in the teachers.
Let's leave the past in the past. We don't want to give the public any more reason to tarnish our school name. I mean, they couldn't if they tried. Check our credentials. Booker T has a powerful legacy that we must carry on.
Maybe our legacy has more monsters and Red Bulls in it than the class of 1950, but it is just as important.
As the newest additions to the Booker T. Washington alum, there are a couple of things that we must learn.
Number 1, when you see a student wearing a Booker T t-shirt, sweatshirt, hat, or any item of clothing, you have to ask them if they go to the pride of the Great Southwest. Then tell them the year you graduated, as well as your favorite memory and how the school has just never been the same since.
I'm pretty sure once you flip your tassel, there's a secret switch that just helps you find Booker T kids out in public. 2, in a couple of years, consider joining Miss Hoxie, Miss Mayo, Mr. Smith-Williams, Miss Tretch, Mr. Cash, and Mr. Lee to come back and teach.
I know it seems completely impossible that you would ever come back and teach here, but I don't really think it seems possible for them to come back and teach here. And if you do join them, give every student that walks into your classroom the same treatment that you got.
3, last step, come back to Booker T. It is more than just a high school, it is a family, and it is something that must be put time and effort into. Come back to homecoming games, come back to visit, come to your class reunions, and keep the class of 2024 spirit alive.
Tonight, go home and celebrate your achievements. And if you're like me, prepare yourself for the 9 a.m. IB test you have to take tomorrow morning.
And tomorrow and every other day, continue to be a Hornet. Take risks, strive for greatness, and never settle for less. Enjoy these last few moments that we have together, because some of us won't see each other until our next 10-year class reunion.
And continue to strive for success and excellence.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.